Quick question for you and your kids right now. Which of these two kids do you think has more fun? Here's what researchers at the University of Toledo actually found when they studied this. Kids with fewer toys played more creatively, stayed focused longer, and reported feeling happier. But that's not even the wild part. The wild part is that this same exact principle, less stuff equals more of what actually matters, works for money too. And most adults never figure this out. Today we're going to break it down together, you and your kids, using real rules, real examples, and simple stories that will genuinely change how your family thinks about money. Stay with me because rule number 4 is the one that most financial advisors never teach, and it is probably the most powerful thing on this list. I want you to picture two families living on the same street, same neighborhood, similar houses, roughly the same cost of living. Family A earns $95,000 a year. Family B earns $52,000 a year. Walk into Family A's home and you will see a brand new 75-inch TV. A closet full of clothes many never worn. A garage packed with things they bought excited and now ignore. Sports equipment from hobbies they quit after 6 weeks. Mom and dad check their bank account and their stomachs drop every time. They are 2 missed paychecks away from a real crisis. Now walk into Family B's home. It is comfortable. It is calm. There is space to breathe. Things have a place. And every single thing in that home gets used. Mom and dad check their bank account and they smile. 'Cause Family B has 18 months of expenses saved. And they invest 20% of every single paycheck. Here is the math that blows everyone's mind. The family earning almost half as much has nearly 10 times the financial security. Pause here and ask your kids, why do you think this happened? This is not a story about income. It is a story about a hidden relationship between stuff and money that most people spend their whole lives never understanding. And today we're going to make sure your family is not one of them. Before we get to the rules, you need to understand one idea that will change how you see every single purchase for the rest of your life. Everything you own costs money twice. The first cost is obvious. It is the price tag, the number on the receipt. The second cost is invisible, and it is often bigger. Here is what the second cost includes. Storage. Your home costs money per square foot. Every item you store is using space that you are paying for. A treadmill that hangs clothes is roughly $600 to $1,000 a year in hidden rent. Maintenance. That boat in the driveway? Annual upkeep runs about 10% of its value. A $30,000 boat costs $3,000 a year, even if it never touches water. Mental energy. Every single thing you own takes up a little space in your brain. It needs to be cleaned, organized, worried about. Scientists have actually found that visual clutter raises stress hormones. Your stuff is stressing you out and you do not even notice it. And then there is opportunity cost. This is the big one. Every dollar locked inside a possession is a dollar not growing. $15,000 in index funds over 15 years becomes $50,000 or more. You did not just buy a home gym. You bought a home gym instead of future freedom. Try this with your kids. Next time they want something, ask them together. What is the second cost of that toy? Rule 1 is a simple calculation that destroys bad purchases the moment you do it. Before buying anything, ask yourself, how many times will I realistically use this? Then divide the price by that number. A $200 jacket worn twice costs $100 per wear. A $400 jacket worn 200 times costs $2 per wear. Which one is actually cheaper? The expensive one, obviously. Now flip it to a bad purchase. That $300 kitchen gadget your kid sees advertised on TV? If you use it twice a year, that is $150 per use. That $30 simple tool used every week? Less than 60 cents per use. Next time your child asks for something, try this together. Ask them how many times they think they will use it in a year. Write down the number. Calculate it together. Make it a game, not a lecture. And here's something that might surprise you. A $2,000 mattress you sleep on every single night works out to about 55 cents per use. The math cuts through marketing, emotion, and social pressure every time. Rule 2 works on what you already own. Walk through your home, or better yet, do this with your kids, and for every single object ask one question. If this disappeared tomorrow, would we spend money to replace it? Be honest. Would you actually go buy another bread maker? Another box of board games you have not opened in 2 years? Those clothes in the back of the closet with the tags still on? For most items, the honest answer is no. Those items have what we call negative value. They cost you space. They cost you mental energy. They exist by inertia, not by choice. This weekend, grab a box and walk through one room together. Every item that fails the test goes in the box. Sell what is value, donate the rest. Let your kids keep the money from items they sell. That is a real financial lesson they will remember for years. Rule 3. Here is a pattern that silently destroys wealth for millions of people. They upgrade perfectly working things out of boredom. The phone still works great, but the new one has a slightly better camera. The car runs perfectly, but this year's model looks newer. The furniture is fine, but they have seen something shinier online. These upgrades feel like progress. They are wealth destruction in disguise. The average American replaces their phone every 2 to 3 years. Over 30 years, that pattern costs $30,000 to $50,000 in completely unnecessary purchases. Apply that logic across every category: cars, furniture, appliances, clothes. And the lifetime waste easily exceeds $200,000. Minimalists have one strict policy: never replace something that functions properly. Boredom is not failure. Wanting something newer is not failure. Actual breakdown is failure. Replace it then. When your child says they want the new version of something, look at what they already have together and ask, does this still work? If yes, challenge them. What would you do with the money instead? Plant the seed. Let them sit with it. Okay. This is rule 4, the one I promised you at the beginning. And it is powerful because it does not require willpower. It requires design. Here is the truth about human behavior. We follow the path of least resistance. If spending is easy and saving is hard, we spend. If saving is easy and spending is hard, we save. So, the families who build real wealth engineer their environment to make the right choice, the automatic choice. Spending friction looks like removing saved credit card numbers from shopping websites, deleting shopping apps from your phone, a 24-hour waiting rule before any non-essential purchase, unsubscribing from promotional emails. Saving ease looks like automatic transfer to savings the day you get paid. Treating savings like a bill, not optional, not whatever is left over. Only keeping a small amount in your everyday account. The 24-hour waiting rule alone eliminates about 70% of impulse purchases. Most of that desire fades on its own if you just wait. Here is a simple way to teach this to your kids. Give your child a waiting wallet, a physical envelope. When they want something, they write it on a slip of paper and put it in. After 7 days, they review the list. How many do they still want? The ones that survive the week are worth considering. This is exactly how adults should treat their own spending. Most people never learn this. Your kids can learn it at age 7. Rule 5. Here is the trap that catches most high earners. They never define what enough looks like. So, as income goes up, lifestyle goes up. The new level feels normal. So, they need another raise just to feel okay. The cycle continues forever. People earning $300,000 feel just as financially stressed as people earning $80,000 because their expectations expanded right alongside their income. Minimalists break this cycle by defining enough in advance. What kind of home is sufficient? What kind of car genuinely meets our needs? What wardrobe makes us feel good without excess? Write it down. Commit to it. Here's why this matters so much. If you define enough at $60,000 of annual spending and then start earning $150,000, that $90,000 difference goes entirely to freedom. Every single year. Meanwhile, someone earning the same $150,000 but constantly redefining enough upward might save almost nothing. Try this conversation with your kids. Ask them what enough looks like for them right now. Not what they want, but what would genuinely make them satisfied. Teaching this early is one of the greatest financial gifts a parent can give. Rule 6. The conventional world measures wealth by what you have. Houses, cars, gadgets, visible symbols of success. Minimalists measure wealth differently. They measure it by what they can choose. Can you leave a job that is making you miserable? Can you take time off for a family emergency without panic? Can you say no to something that pays well but feels wrong? Can you retire earlier because you want to, not because you have to? These options, this freedom to choose, are only available to people who have built a gap between what they earn and what they spend. The person earning $200,000 and spending $195,000 has almost no real freedom. They're locked in. The person earning $80,000 and spending $45,000 can absorb shocks, take risks, and make choices based on what they value, not what they owe. Tell your kids this. Every dollar you save buys you a future choice. That is it. That is the whole lesson. Write it on a sticky note and put it somewhere visible in your home. All right. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. So here is your family action plan. Simple things you can start this week, this month, and this quarter. This week, walk through one room with your kids. Use the replacement test on everything you see. Find 10 things you would not replace if they disappeared. Sell, donate, or toss them. Notice how the room feels afterward. This month, start the 24-hour rule for all non-essential purchases for every family member. Keep a tally of how many purchase desires survive the wait. Share the results at dinner. Make it a conversation. This quarter, count your possessions in 3 categories together: clothing, kitchen items, and toys or games. Set a family maximum for each. Create a 1 in 1 out rule. New item in means something goes out. And here's a bonus activity to try. Each family member picks one category where they can spend less this month. Track the savings together. At the end of the month, pool the total saved and decide together what to do with it. Save it, invest it, or spend it on a family experience. Learning through doing always beats learning through listening. Here is what happens when you apply these rules consistently. Spending less leads to saving more. Saving more creates real security. Real security reduces the emotional urge to spend. Less spending accelerates savings even further. Each turn of the cycle reinforces the next. The opposite cycle is just as powerful, but in the wrong direction. Spending everything creates insecurity. Insecurity drives more spending as temporary relief. More spending deepens insecurity. And on until something breaks. The choice between these two cycles determines financial outcomes more than income ever could. High earners trapped in the destructive cycle build nothing. Modest earners riding the virtuous cycle build everything. And the beautiful thing? The family that teaches their children this early gives them a head start that most adults never get. Those 2 families I described at the beginning, the one with calm and security, $52,000 in income and 18 months of savings, got there through exceptional clarity about what actually matters, not exceptional income. And that is exactly what we are building here on My Little Finances, one family conversation at a time.